New Headway Pre-Intermediate Workbook by John and Liz Sauls. Published and copyright Oxford University Press 2000. Unit 1. Tape script 1.1. Listen and read. 1.
Enrique lives in Puebla, a town in Mexico. He's a student. He's studying medicine because he wants to be a doctor. He's married, but he doesn't have any children. His wife, Sylvia, teaches in a primary school. Enrique loves cooking. He can make an excellent enchilada.
2.
Hi, my name's Rumi, and I come from Osaka in Japan. I live with my parents. My father has a business, but my mother doesn't work. Next year, I'm going to study economics at university. I like going out with my friends. In the picture, I'm sitting in a bar with Noriko and Toshi. We're listening to music.
3.
Bruce is Australian. He was born in England, but he emigrated to Australia when he was 6. He went back to England once, but he didn't like it because it was colder than Australia. He and his brother live with their parents in Melbourne. They have a big house not far from the beach. In the picture, he's on the beach with his friends. They're playing volleyball. Tonight, he's going out with his girlfriend. They're going to the cinema.
Tape script 1.2. Listen and repeat. 1.
Is she French?
2.
Is it raining?
3.
Are they at school?
4.
Are they learning English?
5.
Are you tired?
6.
Was she at home last night?
7.
Am I right?
8.
Was he born in 1960?
9.
Can you speak Danish?
Tape script 1.3. Listen and repeat. 1.
Do you like music?
2.
Does she come from France?
3.
Do they live in a flat?
4.
Do you take sugar in tea?
5.
Do I speak English well?
6.
Did she watch a film last night?
7.
Did it start at 8 o'clock?
8.
Do you want to go home?
9.
Does he work hard?
Tape script 1.4. Listen to the conversation.
Hi, Dad.
Morning, Kate. How are you today?
Fine, thanks. A bit tired.
I didn't hear you come home last night. What time did you get in?
About 11?
Where did you go?
Just round to Beth's house.
There's a letter for you on the table.
Oh, who is it from?
I don't know. Open it and see.
Oh,
What's the matter?
nothing. It's from Luis in Spain.
That's interesting.
He says he's coming to England soon.
Why?
Because he's going to study English.
Where is he going to stay?
Here in London.
What school is he going to?
He doesn't know yet.
When is he coming?
Next week.
You must invite him round. Why don't you write back and invite him to Sunday lunch?
OK, I will. Thanks, Dad.
Tape script 1.5. Listen and repeat the questions. 1.
We had a wonderful holiday.
Where did you go?
2.
I'm reading a good book at the moment.
What are you reading?
3.
I bought a new car last week.
What sort did you buy?
4.
Nick and I had a great night out on Saturday.
Where did you go?
5.
Anne's going to China next week.
How long is she going to stay?
6.
David earns more than £200,000 a year.
What does he do?
7.
They have so many children. How many do they have?
Unit 2. Tape script 2.1. Listen and respond. 1.
The sun rises in the west.
The sun doesn't rise in the west. It rises in the east.
2.
The Pope lives in Alaska.
The Pope doesn't live in Alaska. He lives in Italy.
3.
Manchester United footballers wear yellow shirts.
Manchester United footballers don't wear yellow shirts. They wear red shirts.
4.
Kangaroos come from Canada.
Kangaroos don't come from Canada. They come from Australia.
5.
The sun shines at night.
The sun doesn't shine at night. It shines in the daytime.
6.
In Britain, people drive on the right.
In Britain, people don't drive on the right. They drive on the left.
Tape script 2.2. Listen and repeat. 1.
What time do you get up?
2.
Where do you usually go to at the weekend?
3.
What time does the bank open?
4.
Where does your mother come from?
5.
Which school do your children go to?
6.
Where does your brother work?
7.
What sort of car does your sister drive?
Tape script 2.3. Listen and answer the questions. 1.
What does Wendy do?
She's a nurse.
2.
Is she working in the hospital now?
No, she isn't.
3.
What's she doing?
She's having dinner.
4.
What does Frank do?
He's a waiter.
5.
Is he working in a restaurant now?
Yes, he is.
6.
What's he doing?
He's serving food.
7.
What does Tony do?
He's a taxi driver.
8.
Is he driving a taxi now?
No, he isn't.
9.
What's he doing? He's reading a newspaper.
10.
What does Lisa do?
She's a chef.
11.
Is she working in the kitchen now?
Yes, she is.
12.
What's she doing?
She's cooking.
Tape script 2.4. Listen and answer the questions. 1.
Does Jolie have an untidy bedroom?
Yes, she does.
2.
Has she got posters on her walls?
Yes, she has.
3.
Has she got a lot of clothes?
No, she hasn't.
4.
Does she have a camera?
No, she doesn't.
5.
Has she got a computer?
Yes, she has.
6.
Does she have a lamp in her room?
Yes, she does.
7.
Have you got a bike?
8.
Do you have a lot of money?
9.
Have you got a CD player?
10.
Do you have a good English accent?
Unit 3. Tape script 3.1. Listen and respond. 1.
Shakespeare wrote stories.
Shakespeare didn't write stories. He wrote plays.
2.
Christopher Columbus discovered India.
Christopher Columbus didn't discover India. He discovered America.
3.
Beethoven came from France.
Beethoven didn't come from France. He came from Germany.
4.
Leonardo da Vinci lived in Mexico.
Leonardo da Vinci didn't live in Mexico. He lived in Italy.
5.
The Americans landed on the moon in the 19th century.
The Americans didn't land on the moon in the 19th century. They landed on the moon in the 20th century.
6.
The Buddha came from Australia.
The Buddha didn't come from Australia. He came from India.
Tape script 3.2. Listen and repeat. 1.
When did you go to the States?
2.
Where did you go for your last holiday?
3.
Where did you stay?
4.
How long did you stay there?
5.
Did you have good weather?
6.
How did you travel round?
7.
Did you have good food?
Tape script 3.3. Listen and repeat.
When I arrived at the party, Jenny was talking to Mick. Annie and Pete were dancing. Sarah and Bill were sitting on the sofa. Katie was choosing a CD. Max was drinking champagne. Beth and Dave were eating crisps. Justin was showing Lucinda a photograph. Harry was smoking a cigar. James was telling a joke.
Tape script 3.4. Listen. 1.
Would you like to have a drink?
Yes, please. I'm very thirsty.
2.
Did you watch TV last night?
No, I had dinner and went straight to bed.
3.
Did you have a good game of tennis?
Yes, I won 6-love, 6-2.
4.
Bye, Mum. I'm going to the party now.
Goodbye, darling. Have a nice time.
5.
Did you have breakfast this morning?
No, I got up too late. I just had a cup of coffee.
6.
I'm going to have a bath and wash my hair. I feel dirty.
7.
I have a swimming pool in the garden, so if you want to have a swim, just come round.
8.
Did you have a good day at the office, dear?
No, I didn't. The boss was very angry with me.
9.
Peter and I always argue. We don't agree about anything. Yesterday we had an argument about politics.
10.
I've got my holiday photographs. Do you want to have a look?
11.
John, could I have a word with you for a minute? There's something I want to talk to you about.
Unit 4. Tape script 4.1. Listen and ask the questions. 1.
We've got some eggs.
How many eggs have we got?
2.
We need some flour.
How much flour do we need?
3.
She has a lot of children.
How many children does she have?
4.
Can you buy some butter?
How much butter do you want?
5.
Their house has a lot of bedrooms.
How many bedrooms does it have?
6.
Some people are coming for a meal on Sunday.
How many people are coming?
7.
Shakespeare wrote a lot of plays.
How many plays did he write?
8.
She earns a fortune.
How much does she earn?
Tape script 4.2. Listen and answer the questions. 1.
Does your tooth hurt?
A little. I'll go to the dentist tomorrow.
2.
Were there many people at the party?
A few, but no one that you know.
3.
Is there any food left over?
A little. The children ate most of it.
4.
Have you got any whiskey?
A little. Do you want some ice in it?
5.
Do you have any books on French literature?
A few. You can borrow them if you want.
6.
Would you like some cream?
A little. I'm trying to lose weight.
7.
Are there many Spanish people in your class?
A few, but most of them come from France.
8.
Do you watch much TV?
A little, but I prefer reading.
9.
Do you get many letters?
A few, but most of them are bills.
10.
Do your children get a lot of homework?
A little. It takes them about an hour a night.
Tape script 4.3. Listen. 1.
I bought a hat and a pair of shoes at the shops. Unfortunately, the shoes are the wrong size. I'll take them back tomorrow.
2.
Where are the children?
They're in the garden.
3.
My sister's a teacher in a school near Leicester. She has 3 children, 2 girls and a boy. The girls are in her class at school, but the boy isn't old enough for school yet.
4.
Jane and Bill are a very nice couple. She has a clothes shop and he works in an office in the centre of town.
5.
Where are my shoes?
On the floor in the kitchen.
6.
How much are the driving lessons?
£15 an hour.
7.
When you come to bed, can you put the cat out and turn off the lights?
8.
I went to a restaurant last night.
9.
What's the name of the restaurant we went to last night?
Unit 5. Tape script 5.1. Listen and ask the questions. 1.
I hope to go to university.
What do you want to study?
I want to study maths.
2.
Carol phoned while you were out.
What did she want to talk about?
She wanted to talk about a problem she's having.
3.
I left my job yesterday.
Why did you decide to do that?
I decided to leave because it was boring.
4.
I'm going to bed early because I have a plane to catch tomorrow.
What time do you want to leave the house?
I want to leave as early as possible.
5.
That book you lent me was great.
When did you finish reading it?
I finished reading it last night.
6.
I don't want to go out tonight.
What would you like to do?
I'd like to stay at home and have an early night.
Tape script 5.2. Listen and repeat. 1.
Would you like to watch TV?
No, there's nothing good on tonight.
2.
Would you like something to eat?
No, thanks. I'm not hungry.
3.
Do you like parties?
I'm afraid I don't. I think they're noisy, and there are usually too many people.
4.
Do you like chips?
No, I think they're very bad for you.
5.
Do you like watching TV?
Yes, especially films and cartoons.
6.
Would you like to come to a party on Saturday?
Yes, I'd love to. What time?
Tape script 5.3. Listen. 1.
What sort of books do you like reading?
I like reading biographies and thrillers.
2.
Would you like to be a teacher when you grow up?
No, they don't earn very much and they work very hard.
3.
It's Sophie's birthday soon.
Is it? What would she like to have for a present?
Well, I know she likes cooking. Why don't you buy her a new cookbook?
4.
My daughter has a lot of pens and pencils. She likes drawing.
5.
My son is a very fast runner. He says that one day he would like to run in the Olympic Games.
Tape script 5.4. Listen to the conversations. 1.
Why are you working so hard these days?
Because I'm going to buy a car, so I'm saving as much as I can.
2.
What are you going to buy Jill for her birthday?
A CD.
She hasn't got a CD player.
Oh, I'll buy her a book then.
3.
Dad, can you mend this for me?
I can't, sorry. Ask Mum. She'll do it for you.
4.
Why have you got so many eggs?
Because I'm going to make an omelette.
5.
What are you going to do today?
It's John's birthday, so I'm going to make him a cake.
6.
I have an appointment with the bank manager this morning.
Why are you going to see him?
Because my husband and I are going to start our own business, and we need some money.
7.
I haven't got enough money to get home.
I'll lend you some if you like. How much do you want?
£2 is enough. I'll give it back tomorrow.
Unit 6. Tape script 6.1. Listen and repeat. 1.
What's the weather like?
It's hot nearly all year round.
2.
What's the countryside like?
There are millions of sheep and a lot of desert.
3.
What are the people like?
They're really nice and friendly.
4.
What are the towns like?
There aren't many. They're mainly on the coast.
5.
What's Sydney like?
It's a lovely place. The Opera House is fantastic.
6.
What are the beaches like?
They have beautiful white sand and are miles long.
7.
What are the TV programmes like?
They're okay. Pretty similar to home, really.
Tape script 6.2. Listen and repeat. 1.
What was the hotel like?
Awful. My room was tiny and the service was bad.
2.
What was the flight like?
It was terrible. I waited over 6 hours for the plane.
3.
What was the weather like?
Awful. It rained every day.
4.
What were the beaches like?
They were crowded and dirty. There was no sand on them, just stones.
5.
What was the food like?
Disgusting. Chips with everything, and they didn't cook it very well.
Tape script 6.3. Listen and answer. 1.
Robert is the oldest in the family.
No, he isn't. He's the youngest.
2.
Bob is more polite than his brother.
No, he isn't. He's ruder.
3.
I'm the tallest in this class.
No, you aren't. You're the shortest.
4.
My homework was worse than yours.
No, it wasn't. It was better.
5.
The weather today is colder than yesterday.
No, it isn't. It's hotter.
6.
She bought the cheapest watch in the shop.
No, she didn't. She bought the most expensive.
7.
Jack's meaner than Alan.
No, he isn't. He's more generous.
8.
Janet arrived later than John.
No, she didn't. She arrived earlier.
9.
This is the easiest exercise in this book.
No, it isn't. It's the most difficult.
Tape script 6.4. Listen and repeat. 1.
Bob's taller than Jack. Jack's not as tall as Bob.
2.
Bob got more presents than Jack. Jack didn't get as many presents as Bob.
3.
Jill's more intelligent than Bill. Bill's not as intelligent as Jill.
4.
The sun's hotter than the moon. The moon isn't as hot as the sun.
5.
Are you and your husband the same age? Are you as old as your husband?
6.
You can read more quickly than I can. I can't read as quickly as you can.
7.
Harry won more money than Bill. Bill didn't win as much money as Harry.
8.
Is Switzerland bigger than Luxembourg?
Yes, it is.
Is Luxembourg as big as Switzerland?
No, it isn't.
9.
Eva's work is better than mine. My work isn't as good as Eva's.
10.
Dogs are friendlier than cats. Cats aren't as friendly as dogs.
Unit 7. Tape script 7.1. Listen.
My grandfather is 96 years old, and he has had a long and interesting life. He has travelled a lot, especially in the Far East. He has seen the Taj Mahal in India and the pyramids in Egypt. He has seen lions in Africa and has ridden a camel across the Sahara Desert. He says that the most beautiful place he has been to is Kathmandu in Nepal. He has met the Queen on several occasions. In 1959, he was a soldier in New Zealand when she came to visit, and in 1972, he went to a garden party at Buckingham Palace. He has been married twice. His first wife died when she was 32. He met his second wife while he was travelling round France by bike. He and his wife Eleanor have been married for 50 years, and they have lived in the same cottage in the country since they got married. He says that he has never been ill in his life. The secret of good health, according to my grandfather, is exercise. He goes swimming every day. He has done this since he was a boy. He also has a glass of whiskey every night. Perhaps that is his secret.
Tape script 7.2. Listen and repeat. 1.
Have you ever had an accident?
Yes, I have. Lots of times. But not a serious crash.
2.
Have you ever got lost?
No, I haven't. I've always had a good team to help me.
3.
Have you ever forgotten your words?
Yes, I have, once. I was so embarrassed.
4.
Have you ever climbed Mount Everest?
No, I haven't yet, but I would like to.
5.
Have you ever fallen off your ladder?
Yes, I have, unfortunately. I broke my leg.
6.
Have you ever had a #1 song?
No, I haven't yet, but I reached number 10 with my last one.
7.
Have you ever had an electric shock?
No, I haven't, fortunately. I'm very careful about safety.
Tape script 7.3. Listen and answer the questions. 1.
Has your grandfather been married for a long time?
Yes, he has.
2.
Has he ever met the Queen?
Yes, he has.
3.
Has he often been ill?
No, he hasn't.
4.
Have he and his wife lived in their house for a long time?
Yes, they have.
5.
Has he had an interesting life?
Yes, he has.
6.
Have you ever been to Mexico?
7.
Have you ever tried Chinese food?
8.
Has your teacher ever been angry with you?
9.
Have you ever forgotten to do your homework?
Tape script 7.4. Listen and repeat the questions. 1.
What does he do?
He's a politician.
2.
When did he go to Oxford University?
In 1975.
3.
When did he become a Member of Parliament?
In 1982.
4.
How long has he been an MP?
Since 1982.
5.
When was he Defence Minister?
From 1989 to to 1995.
6,
How many books has he written?
3.
7,
Has he ever written a spy story?
Yes, he has. It's called The Time to Run.
8,
What does Edna Heal do?
She's an artist.
9,
How many children do they have?
2.
10,
How long did they live in Oxford?
For 10 years.
11,
When did they move to London?
In 1995.
12,
Where do they live now?
In a house in Cadogan Square in central London.
Unit 8, Tape Script 8.1. Listen. 1,
You've got to help me with my homework. It's impossible.
2,
The doctor gave me some pills. I've got to take them 3 times a day.
3,
Thanks for a lovely evening. We've got to go now, or we'll miss our bus.
4,
Mary's in a panic. She's got to be at the airport at 2:30, but it's 2 o'clock and she isn't ready yet.
5,
Sorry I can't come to your party. I've got to work till late on Saturday.
6,
I don't want to take exams.
You've got to take them. You have no choice.
7,
I'm going to bed now. I've got to get up early tomorrow morning.
8,
Harry's unemployed. He's got to get a job as soon as possible.
9,
Have I got to do this exercise? It's really boring.
Tape Script 8.2. Listen and repeat. 1,
What time do you have to get up?
2,
Do you have to wear a uniform in your job?
3,
Why did you have to buy so many books?
4,
Do you have to get a visa to go to the States?
5,
How often does John have to take his pills?
6,
Do you have to look after this plant very carefully?
Tape Script 8.3. Listen and give advice to these people. 1,
Peter's got a very bad cold.
I think he should go to bed. I don't think he should go to work.
2,
Jenny and Tony are only 16, but they say they want to get married.
I don't think they should get married yet.
3,
I've lost my checkbook and credit cards.
I think you should phone your bank.
4,
Keith wants to drive home, but he hasn't got his glasses.
I don't think he should drive.
5,
My tooth hurts.
I think you should go to the dentist.
6,
There's a hole in my shoe. I only bought them last week.
I think you should take them back to the shop.
7,
Anne's phone bill was enormous. £300.
I think she should check the bill with the phone company.
8.
My children spend all their pocket money on sweets.
I don't think they should spend it all on sweets.
9.
Kate's crying because I pushed her. It was an accident.
I think you should tell Kate you're sorry.
Tape script 8.4. Listen and repeat the questions. 1.
George has asked me to marry him. Do you think I should say yes?
2.
Teresa has invited me to a party at her parents' house. Do you think I should go?
3.
Hazel still hasn't given me back the money she owes me. Do you think I should remind her?
4.
I'm having a party and I have to write a guest list. Who do you think I should invite?
5.
Lulu isn't speaking to me today because yesterday I said she was stupid. Do you think I should apologise to her?
6.
Paolo doesn't know whether to go to university or travel round the world. What do you think he should do?
7.
This stereo's fantastic, but it's so expensive. Do you think I should buy it?
Unit 9. Tape script 9.1. Listen and respond. 1.
There's someone at the door.
OK, I'll open it.
2.
What a beautiful picture.
I'll buy it for you.
3.
What newspaper do you buy?
I buy the Times.
4.
Would you like to order, sir?
I'll have the lamb.
5.
What time do you eat in the evening?
We have supper at about 8 o'clock.
6.
The phone's ringing!
OK, I'll answer it.
Tape script 9.2. Listen and answer. 1.
What will you do if you miss the plane?
I won't miss it. I'll get there early.
2.
What will you do if the plane is late?
I'll sleep in the airport.
3.
Where will you stay if the hotels are full?
I'll find somewhere. A youth hostel, maybe?
4.
What will you do if you don't like the food?
I'll just eat bread, cheese and fruit.
5.
Where will you go if the beaches are crowded?
I'll visit the old town and the mountains.
6.
What will you do if you get sunburnt?
I won't sunbathe for a few days.
Tape script 9.3. Listen.
British explorer Robin Drake says that the first international polar expedition will start next March. They are going to try to reach the North Pole on a 65-day, 480-mile journey. If Drake succeeds, he will be the first man to walk to both the North and South Poles. Drake is going on the Ice Walk expedition with navigator Alan Winterson. When they arrive in Tula in northern Greenland, Walkers from the Soviet Union, the USA, Japan, Australia, Canada and Italy will join them. As soon as they get to their base camp, Eureka, inside the Arctic Circle, they will have to build huts to protect them from temperatures as low as -55 degrees Celsius. We are going to do a lot of experiments to see how much pollution there is in the area, said Robin. The results will help us to understand the effects of pollution on the planet, including the greenhouse effect. If the weather is good enough, they are going to make a film of the expedition. Robin said, "When we get back home, we will show it to people all over the world."
Unit 10. Tape script 10.1. Listen.
My friend and I had a problem about our holiday last year. I wanted to have a lazy seaside holiday because I was tired and needed to relax. I love lying in the sun, drinking ice-cold beer and reading a good book. But Natalie likes busy cultural holidays. She likes visiting museums and galleries. She hates sunbathing because she always goes red, not brown. The travel agent tried to help us and suggested Greece. I said I'd love to sail to a quiet island, but of course Natalie said she'd like to stay in Athens. It was easy to decide what to do. We flew to Athens together. Natalie stayed there, and I travelled to the island of Kos.
Tape script 10.2. Listen to the conversations. 1.
What are you trying to do?
I'm looking for my contact lens. Can you see it?
2.
I'll help you. What do you want me to do?
Could you do the washing up while I do the cooking? Thanks.
3.
What did the doctor tell you to do?
She told me to stay in bed for a few days.
4.
My mother was so helpful while she was staying with us.
What did she help you to do?
She helped me to paint the kitchen.
5.
What would you like to do tonight?
What about going out for a meal?
6.
What are you hoping to do after university?
I'd like to get a job in publishing.
Tape script 10.3. Listen and respond. 1.
This town's so ugly.
It used to be so pretty.
2.
There are so many tourists.
There didn't used to be any tourists.
3.
The houses are very expensive.
They used to be very cheap.
4.
The streets are dirty.
They used to be clean.
5.
There is so much litter on the streets.
There didn't used to be any litter on the streets.
6.
The car parks are always full.
They used to be empty.
7.
There is a lot of traffic on the roads.
There didn't used to be any traffic on the roads.
8.
It's noisy at night.
It used to be quiet at night.
9.
We don't have a park anymore.
We used to have a park.
10.
Now there are blocks of flats.
There didn't used to be any blocks of flats.
Tape script 10.4. Listen and repeat. 1.
I'm hungry. I need something to eat.
2.
I've lost my passport and I don't know where to look for it.
3.
I have a big problem, but I don't know who to talk to about it.
4.
You're drunk.
No, I'm not. I've had nothing to drink all night.
5.
I can't do my homework. I need somebody to help me.
6.
Can you tell me how to get to the station?
7.
Give me £5, Pete.
I'm sorry, I haven't got any money to lend you.
8.
I need to speak to Ben, but I don't know when to phone him.
Unit 11. Tape script 11.1. Listen and repeat. 1.
When was Concorde developed?
2.
How much was spent on its development?
3.
How many planes have been built altogether?
4.
When were the Houses of Parliament built?
5.
How many people were hurt in the train crash?
6.
Where is champagne produced?
7.
How much was she fined for speeding?
8.
How much are school teachers paid a year?
9.
How often is your post delivered?
10.
Why were 3 teenagers given an award yesterday?
Tape script 11.2. Listen and respond. 1.
Paper is made from plastic.
Paper isn't made from plastic, it's made from wood.
2.
President Kennedy was killed in New York.
President Kennedy wasn't killed in New York, he was killed in Dallas.
3.
Coffee is grown in Scotland.
Coffee isn't grown in Scotland, it's grown in South America.
4.
Sunflowers was painted by Renoir.
Sunflowers wasn't painted by Renoir, it was painted by Van Gogh.
5.
Walkman cassette players were developed by the Russians.
Walkman cassette players weren't developed by the Russians, they were developed by the Japanese.
6.
The Berlin Wall was knocked down in 1982.
The Berlin Wall wasn't knocked down in 1982, it was knocked down in 1989.
7.
The 2000 Olympic Games were held in New Zealand.
The 2000 Olympic Games weren't held in New Zealand, they were held in Australia.
8.
Rolls-Royce cars are made in Japan.
Rolls-Royce cars aren't made in Japan, they're made in Britain.
9.
Coca-Cola has been produced for over 200 years.
Coca-Cola hasn't been produced for over 200 years. It's been produced for over 100 years.
Tape script 11.3. Listen.
Nylon was invented in the early 1930s by an American chemist, Julian Hill. Other scientists worked with his invention, and finally, on the 27th of October, 1938, nylon was introduced to the world. It was cheap and strong, and immediately became successful, especially in the making of women's stockings. During the Second World War, the best present for many women was a pair of nylon stockings. But more importantly, nylon was used to make parachutes and tires. Today, nylon is found in many things: carpets, ropes, seat belts, furniture, computers, and even spare parts for the human body. It has played an important part in our lives for over 50 years. Next year, about 36 million tons of it will be manufactured.
Unit 12. Tape script 12.1. Listen and repeat.
If he weren't in prison, he'd get up at 7:30. He'd wear a suit. He'd have coffee and croissants for breakfast. He'd work in an office. He'd play squash. He'd go to nightclubs. He'd go to bed at midnight.
Tape script 12.2. Listen and repeat the questions. 1.
What time would he get up?
At 7:30.
2.
What would he wear?
A suit.
3.
What would he have for breakfast?
Coffee and croissants.
4.
Where would he work?
In an office.
5.
Where would he go every evening?
To nightclubs.
6.
What time would he go to bed?
At midnight.
Tape script 12.3. Listen.
Laura lives in a big city. If she lived in the country, she'd have a dog. Laura shares a flat with 3 other girls, but if it was possible, she'd live on her own. If she lived in the country, she'd buy a little cottage and she'd grow her own flowers and vegetables. In town, she travels by underground and goes shopping in big department stores, but she doesn't like this at all. If she was in the country, she'd ride her bike and she'd buy things in the little village shop. She loves walking and often goes for a walk in town, but the streets are noisy. In the country, she'd walk across the fields with her dog.
Tape script 12.4. Listen.
I know it's time for decisions, but I'm not very good at making decisions. I always worry that I might not make the right choice. I might go to university next year, but I'm not sure. I might wait for a year and travel around Asia for a while. After university, I might become a teacher. I might not earn much, but I like working with kids, and money isn't everything. Someone told me there are lots of jobs teaching English abroad, so I might do a course in that. Then I could teach and travel. Who knows? I might meet a nice girl too. That would be great.
Unit 13. Tape script 13.1. Listen to the letter.
Dear Heike, how are you? I haven't heard from you for a while, so I thought I'd drop you a line and give you some of our news. The most important thing to tell you is that we have found a new house to buy. We went to see it last week, and we think it's wonderful. We agreed on a price last night, and, with a bit of luck, we might be in it in a couple of months' time. We haven't tried to sell our house yet, but I don't think it will be difficult. I'm going to the estate agents this afternoon. The children are all fine. Did you know that Joanna has been in the Far East for the past 6 months? She was in Melbourne for a while, but now she has left Australia and has gone to Indonesia. She's going to spend a few weeks there, and then she's coming home. She's having a really good time. Jason has fallen in love with a lovely girl called Rosine. He met her at a party last week, and he thinks she's the most beautiful girl he has ever seen. I don't know how long the romance will last. We'll see. Maggie has some good news too. She won first prize in a ballet competition last week. She had to go to the Royal Ballet School in London for the whole day, and this morning we got a letter saying that she had won, so we're all delighted. That's all for now. I hope you're all well. Write soon. Love, James.
Tape script 13.2. Listen and repeat the questions and answers. 1.
Has Angela ordered the flowers yet?
No, she hasn't.
2.
Has Angela bought a dress yet?
Yes, she has.
3.
Has Jean-Pierre ordered the champagne yet?
Yes, he has.
4.
Has Jean-Pierre bought the wedding rings yet?
No, he hasn't.
5.
Have they sent out the invitations yet?
No, they haven't.
Tape script 13.3. Listen. 1.
I have been learning Italian for the past 3 years. My teacher is very good, and I like her very much. I've been to Italy 3 times. I went there last year with my family, and we stayed in Florence. I enjoyed it a lot, but there were too many people.
2.
My daughter has been trying to find a job for months. She left university in June, and since then she's had 1 or 2 part-time jobs. She's been working in a cafe for the last 2 weeks. She wants to work in publishing. She's written hundreds of letters of application, and she's had a few interviews, but no job offers yet.
3.
We have been living in our new house for several months. Since we moved in, we have been very busy. Everyone has helped to get the house ready. So far, we have decorated the living room and the kitchen. Soon after we arrived, the central heating broke down, so we had to spend a lot of money to repair it. We like gardening very much, but we haven't had time to do anything to the garden yet. And it has rained very heavily recently, so we'll just wait till the weather gets better.
Tape script 13.4. Listen to the conversation.
Hello, Peter. I haven't seen you for ages. How are you?
Hi, Jane. I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm okay. What have you been doing since I last saw you?
Well, I started a new job last month. It's still in advertising, but with a new company.
How long have you been working in advertising?
For 5 years. I really enjoy it. Anyway, what about you?
Well, I'm still writing books. I've written a couple of novels, and for the past year I've been researching a book on local history.
Well, that sounds very interesting.
Unit 14. Tape script 14.1. Listen and repeat. 1.
I couldn't answer the questions because I hadn't revised for the exam.
2.
I was hungry because I hadn't eaten all day.
3.
My mother was worried because I hadn't been in touch for a long time.
4.
I was late because I'd got stuck in a traffic jam.
5.
I was pleased because I'd passed my driving test.
6.
I was nervous during the flight because I hadn't flown in a plane before.
7.
My father was furious because I had crashed his car.
8.
I was tired because I had slept badly.
Tape script 14.2. Listen and repeat. 1.
After I'd had a bath, I went to bed.
2.
When I had read the letter, I threw it away.
3.
As soon as he'd passed his driving test, he bought a car.
4.
I took the book back to the library when I'd finished reading it.
5.
I didn't go to bed until I had done my homework.
6.
When I'd spent all my money, I went home.
7.
I had read the book before I saw the film.
8.
She started writing after her children had left home.
Tape script 14.3. Listen and report the sentences. 1.
The rent is £50 a week.
The landlady said the rent was £50 a week.
2.
It's a quiet flat and the neighbours are nice.
'Mrs. Morby said it was a quiet flat and the neighbours were nice.
3.
The rent includes gas and electricity.
She told me that the rent included gas and electricity.
4.
I need a £100 deposit.
Then she said she needed a £100 deposit.
5.
I decorated the living room recently.
She told me that she had decorated the living room recently.
6.
Other people have been to see the flat.
She said other people had been to see the flat.
7.
You'll have to make up your mind soon.
She told me I would have to make my mind up soon.
8.
The people before looked after it very well.
She said that the people before had looked after it very well.
9.
I've replaced all the carpets.
She told me that she had replaced all the carpets.
10.
You can move in immediately.
She told me I could move in immediately.
11.
I'll give you a ring soon, I said. I told Mrs. Morby that I would give her a ring soon.
Tape script 14.4. Listen to the interview.
How do you feel about winning the award, Lawrence?
I'm pleased and surprised. I didn't expect to win, and I want to thank all the other actors.
What was it like to play the part of Sherlock Holmes?
It was great fun.
Have you ever played a Shakespearean role?
Yes, I played Othello off-Broadway last year. I enjoyed it very much.
What sort of music do you like, Lawrence?
I have always liked jazz. In fact, I play in a jazz band called Saxophony.
Do you ever want to direct a play?
I hope to one day, but I don't know when it could happen because I'm so busy acting and playing jazz.